Ethiopia has made great strides in increasing access to education for girls as well as boys in recent years. However, the quality of education remains poor. The literacy rate for the country hovers around 43%, and only a fraction of public school children can pass the secondary school entrance exams. Nationwide early grade reading assessments given in 2010 showed that in rural school districts like Hosanna, 54% of the children could not read one word at the end of third grade. Many factors contribute to this result. Among them are a very limited supply of books, classes with as many as 95 children, teachers having only a 10th grade education, a high teacher absentee rate, a lack of print in homes and schools, and traditional teaching methods which stress repetition and memorization. The 20 million school-age children in all of Ethiopia's rural and urban communities do not receive direct reading instruction. Teachers' colleges have not yet begun to offer courses on the teaching of reading and writing. The teacher training you will see here stresses child-centered practices that foster reading for meaning and self-directed learning. It is a 5-part model: faculty workshop, teacher observation, demonstration lesson, teacher application, coaching, and mentoring. The principal of this government school was eager to have a reading consultant work with his vice principals and primary grade teachers on improving their students' ability to read. Our work together began with an after-school workshop in this computer room. Although there were computers stationed around the room, they were not being used. The teachers had not been trained in their use, and there was no Wi-Fi connection available. This is an important consideration in planning teacher training activities and their follow-up. The teachers were selected for the training based on their suitability for sharing what they had learned with their colleagues. Teacher training events are a rare occurrence in government schools. Although the primary grade teachers were tentative and reluctant to speak during our first workshop meeting, they were very welcoming when the classroom visits began. The focus of the workshop was to introduce the concept of teaching reading. I compared teaching reading to making a traditional Ethiopian stew. It too has many ingredients. In Ethiopia, English is a second or third language, depending on the region. The help of a good translator and a vice principal was essential every step of the way. In the kindergarten classrooms, the teachers start every day with an English lesson like the one you see here. At the end of the class, the vice principal and I spoke with the teachers and answered their questions. Over the next 2 days, the 4 kindergarten teachers worked together to plan their lessons, applying what they had seen. So here we are going back to observe the new comprehension and decoding methods that I modeled after the call and repeat lesson. The kindergarten teachers have the least education of the primary teachers. However, working on their own, the teachers seamlessly blended the traditional practices with all of the new ones and inventively used colored chalk to show how the words were alike. This young assistant teacher exuded confidence and satisfaction, and the children were eager to participate.
ደግሞ በፒ የሚጀመር ተነስቶ ደግሞ እስኪ አብርሃም አቁ ያንተ እንደምት ተሰጥቷል መሰለኝ ላይ ተሰጥቷል ምንድን ነው የሚለው ታስብ ምንድን ነው የሚለው አዳርሽና ታስብና ይላል በኤል ሂደት የተመሰረተችዋን ተነስቶ የሚያሰምርልሽ እስኪ በኤል ኤል ኤል ደግሞ አሁን ደግሞ በኤች አንብቢው
Very, very good.
መጀመሪያ እያንዳንዷን ፊደል አንብቢ
In this kindergarten classroom, I introduced 2 new ways of teaching. The first is an activity for beginning readers called the morning message. This is a great fit for the classrooms where materials are limited and English is a second language. The students' language and experiences are used to create text for reading. They can see the connection between their spoken language and print. The sentences and stories can be used for lessons and practice reading in school and at home. To engage all of the children instead of a few, I introduced the second activity called Think, Pair, Share.
ተነግሯቸዋላችሁ ጎበዞች አሁን ሰምታችኋቸዋል አይደል እነሱ አንደኛው ምን አለ አይ ላይ ፉትቦል አለ አይደል እኔ ማድረግ የምወደው ኳስ መጫወት ያኛውስ ምን አለ እኔ ማድረግ የምወደው ሴል መሳል ብሏል አይደል አንዱ ለአንዱ Koi, yeah. So, የእሷን ስም ጻፊው። የእሷን ስም ከላይ ጻፍ። አሁን በእንግሊዝኛ ታሪው watching Tom and Jerry. No, like only like ብቻ የሚለው
Good for you.
እሱ ነው because TV we keep TV in the house.
Very good answer. We keep TV.
Writing a morning message using the children's sentences met with some confusion when introduced 2 days earlier. But when I walked into the room, the teacher was telling the children they would be writing sentences. The children could not wait to be called on. The children in this first grade class were working in their English exercise books when I came in to observe. The teacher had introduced the lesson on prepositions and had drawn and labeled pictures on the board. The lessons in the exercise books are very rule-driven, with little or no opportunity to independently apply what is being taught. Here was an opportunity to demonstrate how English can be taught through reading stories. With the teacher's permission and the help of my translator and the vice principal, I used Goldilocks and the Three Bears to model what good readers do before, during, and after reading.
I'm going to get some ideas about what's in the book. There, mommy bear, and I think this is a good one. Where are the ears?
መሄድ ጀመረች። ግን እንስሳቶች አብራሪ ጫካ ጫኪና ቲጂ ናም ብሏት ነበረ ስዕሉ ከዛ
ይመስለኝ
belong to the
ትንሿን ሶስተኛ ላይ
yum, she said.
ፍጠው በጣም የሚጣፍጠው ደግሞ የዚህኛዋ መሆን አለበት ብላ ኦኬ ተረዳችሁ?
So what he asked was, where do you think is Goldilocks now?
Oh, good question.
They said
ወንበሩ
that.
ተሰብሯል ግን ወደ ቤት እንድትመለስ ነው ኦኬ
So many of them are thinking she will return back to her house.
She should go home.
They are thinking.
It's so nice to be here again. When I returned to observe the teacher's shared reading lesson, it was clear that she had searched and located a story similar to Goldilocks in the 3rd grade exercise book. Amina and the wolf did not have pictures, so the teacher energetically acted out the story and continuously checked if the children could understand and translate the English words into Amharic. She drew pictures on the board to show the meaning of the preposition under.
After that, she hear a sound. She is very afraid. Very afraid, and she runs out of the house. Finally,
The 2nd grade class was also doing their English lesson in an exercise book when I came for my visit. I asked the teacher if we could make one small group so I could show her a different practice of assessing the children's understanding while they were reading.
About students' likes and dislikes for our newspaper. Can I ask you a few questions?
Beautiful. Okay, so I'm just going to stop for 1 minute. Okay. And I want to check with her if she understood. What did you find out?
Likes and dislikes. And the liners is a newspaper.
Here we are doing formative assessment, checking in with each child while they were reading. I asked children to retell, answer questions, draw, and use context clues for word meaning. I pointed out how the children's responses show us what they need to learn. The teacher and I saw how difficult the material was for the children. They were not understanding.
Read this one.
Okay, so she's stuck on the word, and so she has a couple of things she could do. Here is my return visit to observe the teacher's use of formative assessment while reading. The teacher applied some of what she had seen. She asked the students about the meanings of the words they were reading. A good beginning.
Another student, what is the meaning of loud?
The boy who's eager to answer, the teacher pointed out, had been in a private school.
What is the meaning of question?
Ah, very good. Ask.
Question means ask. Cloud to ask. What is the meaning of favorite? Favorite. What is the meaning of favorite?
The 3rd grade teacher's English lesson was a page in the exercise book on Ethiopia's weather. Students were working independently. I asked if I could show her a way to read the selection with the students to help them with their understanding. A shared reading.
the dash in all sentences
When I returned for the observation, the teacher chose to repeat the shared reading we had done. She read many sentences, substituting a word with the word dash, so the children would have to use sentence clues to guess the words. You could see how pleased she is with the students' responses.
In the lesson that I saw.
Coaching is key to improving teaching behaviors. Working one-to-one, teachers are guided to reflect on their teaching and their students' learning. Questions are asked and answered, ideas are clarified, and plans are discussed. All the teachers were earnest in their effort to help their students and do a better job.
I like to teach students because this mid-generation students, I want to give for them lesson, good lesson. That's why I like to.
What did you do after I left? You were working on matching the words to the pictures? Do you think the children got that? Yes, they do. It's true. They need this. So then you say, okay, so can you remember the questions? The word, I'm going to write this down. The word is 10. Sep, tem. I look for the ones that go together. So that's the difference between Amharic and English. Or what they are talking about. Any questions? Okay. Because even in English, the children in English, the young children, I have to teach this. They don't get that however, but it's like. So let me pick a different word for my exam. So what have you learned so far? So they're reading a story, You know, let them guess, but then why? Because we want them to know what clues they're using. What's helping them. Because so then they can do it on their own without you.
Oh, yes.
What can you do to figure out what this word means? So when they get stuck and they can't read the word, and lots of times the children.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
After that, I check the students' answers.
Yeah. How did they do?
Yes, because of that, this is my effort. You know?
Our team had a goodbye lunch at a local restaurant. It was an opportunity to express our gratitude for the time we had together, share some laughs, and finally to present the yellow certificates of completion for the training.